Our journey will take us west across the center of Europe. We will travel from Prague in the Czech Republic to Bamberg, Germany by bus. There we will board our cruise ship. When we leave Bamberg, we will travel by ship down the Main River, north on the Rhine River to its junction with the southwest flowing Mosel River. Our final river stop is Trier, where we will switch to bus for our trip to Paris. Prague is an influential capital city that has developed its unique character over many centuries. Set on the banks of the Vltava River, actually a tributary of the Elbe, the heart of the city nestles in a bowl formed by the winding river and gentle rolling hills. Prague, located in the heart of Europe, was the capital of ancient Bohemia for centuries. Prague was a leading center in the 16th century Habsburg court and became the capital of Czechoslovakia in 1918. When the Iron Curtain fell in 1989, Prague was free to unveil its hidden Bohemian treasures. Old Town is Prague's historic hub. This was the royal route the kings took to their coronation, because they knew it was where they would draw the largest crowd. It began in the 11th century as the city's marketplace. The town hall astronomical clock tells you more about the stars than the time of day. The clock was built in 1410, not so much to show the exact time as to show the state of the universe, the position and movement of the stars and planets, with the Earth at the center. Fanciful characters are set in motion every hour on the hour. Christ and the 12 apostles start their procession at the upper windows as the skeleton of death consults his watch, tolls his bell, and shows by an hourglass that time is up for the figures of vanity and usury. At the time the clock was built, it was so highly prized by the city fathers that they had the clockmaker who made it blinded so that he could not recreate his masterpiece and one of the city's greatest treasures. On busy Karlova and Soletna streets, you can find exquisite treasures along with tourist t-shirts. Amber jewelry is exquisite with delicate work, great variety, and striking golden brown hues. Bohemian crystal remains an exclusive brand name, and glassware and porcelain are particularly renowned. The colorful, bustling square is undoubtedly the center, not only of the old town, but of the entire city. The cafes have a casual bohemian atmosphere. It is a delightful place to stop for a snack and enjoy this historic square with its great buildings. In a Czech tradition dating back to the Middle Ages, Prague has a history of puppetry. Puppet opera is popular in the city, and you can visit a puppet museum and several puppet shops. One section of the city leaves tradition behind and brings upscale shops to cobblestone streets. Colorfully decorated cows are throughout the city. Their designs are as varied as the artist's imagination. They depict scenes from various aspects of city life. One is roasting on a rooftop, another stuck on the roof of a tram stop. Accommodations are excellent and vary from traditional to modern. Prague has long honored its religious diversity. 6 synagogues are part of a thriving Jewish community. Traditional architecture meant a big bump here with the construction of this Moorish-style synagogue based on the famed Alhambra in Spain. Another exception that doesn't quite fit the architectural norm is the Fred and Ginger building. However, these variances are not the norm. Prague historically presents a fabulous architectural tapestry, with Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque alongside Art Nouveau gems. The Vltava River bisects the city in a grand, softening, and beautiful way. It is a large, navigable tributary of the Elbe River, which flows to Berlin, Hamburg, and the North Sea. Its tranquil nature is both scenic and calm, providing for extensive boating. Charles Bridge is a landmark and one of the highlights of a visit to Prague. Probably one of the most famous bridges in the world. It was built in the mid-14th century. At the Malá Strana end is the Judith Tower, which offers majestic views over the city and bridge. In the background is the great Prague Castle and majestic St. Vitus Cathedral. Charles Bridge is perhaps one of the most romantic shopping venues in Europe. Along the 1,700-foot-long shop-lined thoroughfare are musicians and artists, each offering a feast for the senses. Those interested can choose to have a portrait or caricature made while enjoying the ambiance of a near carnival-like atmosphere. If you're here in time for lunch or dinner, quaint restaurants are tucked in below the bridge. You can pick up an original watercolor or etching while enjoying the music floating in the air. The Malá Strana, which means little side, is the old aristocratic district running south of the castle, including the 18th century area where the movie Amadeus was filmed by Milos Forman, a son of Prague. Those who get excited about architecture will love Prague. Almost every corner reveals an architectural treasure dating from the 13th century to the present. Cobblestone streets, tree-lined avenues, and pedestrian zones are everywhere. A pride of the city is the Prague Castle, the seat of royal power throughout the Middle Ages. Built in the mid-1500s, it sits majestically on the ridge above the city and Charles Bridge. The changing of the palace guard is formal, but has been given a more relaxed flair by the Czech president. He changed the drab uniforms from the communist era and had the crisp, new blue uniforms tailored by an Oscar-winning costume designer for the film Amadeus. Concerts are regular weekend events in late spring, summer, and early fall. Prague's largest park is a wooded hill above the city. Petrin Hill is accessible by an enjoyable funicular ride that rises through the woods to emerge at the Rose Garden section near the observatory. The observation tower, a mini Eiffel Tower, was built for the Prague Industrial Exhibition in 1891. Prague has a comprehensive and integrated public transportation system, including 31 tram routes which connect both sides of the river. The trams are clean and efficient. Only a few minutes' walk from Wenceslas Square is Prague's main rail station. It is a busy, thriving center. Shops and food stands provide diversions for travelers. Trains connect to all of Europe, and a special makes overnight connections to London. The St. Wenceslas monument is crowned by a statue of the patron saint sitting astride his noble steed. It stands across the street from the National Museum. The monument and museum are at the top of Wenceslas Square, the symbolic heart of modern Prague and the Czech Republic. The square is really a long, broad, sloping esplanade. It is the unquestioned center of Prague, and very popular with both locals and tourists. The square is a popular place for a stroll, with hotels, restaurants, upscale shops, cafes, and nightclubs. It is bustling both day and night. Baby carriages get perhaps the roughest ride. It is a chore just to hang on to the pacifier. And it wouldn't hurt to check for your teeth occasionally. The cobblestone sidewalks and streets are colorful and historic, but they are also labor-intensive. It doesn't look like anything that most people would like to do, but he does seem to have all his fingers and no major cuts or bruises. If somewhere along your route you feel the urge for a snack or a full meal, you'll find a good variety of opportunities. Prague is home to a number of theater, ballet, and opera companies. However, it has become known worldwide for its classical music. Prague's largest concert hall, seating over 1,000, and the home of the Prague Symphony Orchestra, is Smetana Hall. Tonight, Smetana Hall resounds with the music of Smetana's The Moldau. You'll see all of this and more on an AmaWaterways River Cruise.